Before we get started, I just want everybody to take a nice deep breath. Breathe in. And breathe out, okay? We are not going to be wearing a funeral suit this time. Well, let's just come right out with it. Assassin's Creed Shadows has been delayed again. It's been delayed by a month, which is thankfully not as much as it was last time. And thankfully, I've took the news a lot better than I have last time. However, I do sort of cringe a bit when I look back on that video because it was done very emotionally. It was a bit of an outburst after the news came out. I was a little bit sort of disheartened and annoyed. Oh dear! Whereas this time round, first of all, I did kind of call this was going to happen. I predicted it in the next episode of the Odyssey, which it's not even out yet, but I do say it in the next episode of the Odyssey that I thought that a delay was on the way, and I think we've all in the community sort of been very on edge, very worried about the way that the marketing is going for Assassin's Creed Shadows, so I think a delay was expected. Maybe not wanted, maybe we were hoping that the marketing was going to ramp up a bit and things were going to get more exciting, but unfortunately, yes, the game has been delayed by another month. However, if you're looking for a video where I rant and rave like I did last time about how terrible this is for the game and how I'm never going to pick it up again, well, I like to think I've learned a lot since that video. And this time round, I want to talk about quite the opposite actually, because I think this delay is a good thing. Not just a good thing, I think this is much needed, and I think it's going to make the game even better when it does launch. So with that said, let's get into it.
How do you post literally just a marketing thing right there saying on the fucking post February 14th? Why didn't they check that? It doesn't fucking matter.
Okay, so I've been looking at a couple of the notes for the Ubisoft investor call that's happening right now. We know that Ubisoft is in a bit of a hot mess at the minute. There are rumours of a 10-cent buyout, or that the company is about to go under, and that Assassin's Creed Shadows is the last resort it has to try and scrape back some money. I believe in this investor call, which by the way is happening right now, they mentioned that there was like a $200 million loss or something, or they had to recoup it. Therefore, they closed down X-Defiant. We know that they let 3 of their major studios completely shut down. They let them all go. It's awful to see this happen to any company, and I do feel for the people who've lost their jobs in the process of this. However, for the devs who are still working on Assassin's Creed Shadows, it does sound like these layoffs and all of these sort of the shutdown of X-Defiant was done so that the Assassin's Creed team could have extra time. I don't see this as the game has been delayed. I see this as we've given the team more time to get the game done. So I think it's clear from the fact that pre-orders aren't open, the marketing campaign is at like an all-time standstill. I think it's pretty clear that Assassin's Creed Shadows it's not gone gold yet, it's not finished. There's still a lot of work to be done, and clearly a lot more work than they thought would need to be done when the game got delayed initially. I mean, the only sort of good thing about this delay, on top of the previous delay, is that I think a lot of the controversy regarding Yasuke and all that has sort of fizzled out. I don't think it's in the conversation anymore. I mean, I could be wrong there, but I'm not seeing personally any conversation about the game at all. Maybe it's a result of the cutbacks at Ubisoft. Maybe they can't afford to market this game properly, but what they can do is make sure that the game is good, because they know that they have a set audience. They know there is a certain amount of people who are always going to buy this game, no matter what state it releases in. So hopefully, I think good word of mouth is all Ubisoft have right now in regards to Assassin's Creed Shadows. And at the end of the day, we're going to get a better game because of it. Would you rather that the game came out 4 months earlier and was a total mess and terrible and nobody talked about it? No, we want this to be a game that we're talking about for a long time. We want this to be a success so that all of the future Assassin's Creed games, this 10-year plan that they have, is actually going to come to fruition. Whether you think the games that they've got planned are good or not, more Assassin's Creed is always good for the Assassin's Creed fanbase. That's what I would, concretely say. the reception to Assassin's Creed Shadows was very sour at first. There was a lot of controversy, and they just kept seeming to make mistakes with the art book and the statues, and just constant mistake after mistake, that when the game did get delayed, it, to me, came across like Ubisoft were giving in to the hate and saying, look, we're maybe just going to put this on hold for a bit. And that really worried me. You know, my instincts at the time were very severe, and I do apologise for that, you know, because I feel like the first time this game got delayed, I came across extremely negative, like I wasn't going to pursue the game anymore. And over the months since, I think I've come to accept that, you know, especially the state that we're in now, the game cannot release in the state it's in. Can you imagine doing a marketing campaign with only 1 month to go? At least with 2 months, we have, like, a glimpse of a chance that at the end of this month we could get a story trailer, and then at the end of February we could get, like, not a launch trailer, but, you know, there's time to do TV spots, there's time to put ads on YouTube, there's time to put signs on the sides of buses, and, you know, and do a novelization and things like that, and just, there is now enough time to let this game come out properly. That's the way I see this, like, just in terms of, imagine you're a dev or you're on the marketing team at Ubisoft and you get told you've only got a month. You're not going to be able to market the game properly, and it's not going to do well. This gives the marketing team the best opportunity they have to make this game a success. That's how I feel like this delay operates. Now, that's all well and good, but what is the state of the actual game? And that is something that does worry me slightly, because yes, we've seen some very good clips in these articles. We've seen 7 or 8 seconds here and there, and it looks good. And then, you know, we've had some clips that got reused. We recently had a clip that was in the stealth article, and it was in the parkour article. And at first I thought, oh, that's a bit lazy, they're just reusing clips. But then I thought, well, no, that must be therefore finished. That is a finished clip that they don't mind showing twice, because it proves that there was nothing to update. You know, they didn't have to get the clip twice because it's been changed since. That is definitively how the move in the game is going to work. And I know that's a really small, minute example of the game being in some sort of state of finality, but I think it is a good sign, and I'm very hopeful that the game is close to completion, because the one thing that Ubisoft is shouting about in this investor call is the day one needs to be good. When people play this on the first day, the first impression of the game needs to smash it out the park, because, like I say, I think they're revolving around word of mouth, carrying this game's longevity. We already know that we're not getting, like, these big super deluxe editions that are over $100 and stuff like that. We know that we're not getting a season pass. There's going to be no additional costs for people to spend at launch. And that means that the launch is even more important, because it's not like you've forked a lot of money out of people and tricked them into spending £200 for a statue and the game, and then the game comes out and it's terrible. No, this is a long game with Assassin's Creed Shadows. We know that there's a battle pass on the way. We recently had leaks detailing that it's going to be sort of split into 2, and we're going to get a side for Naoe and a side for Yasuke. We're seeing leaks about the Animus hub start to arrive. Assassin's Creed Shadows, in terms of its battle plan, when it launches, is a long game. They want you to stick around for Season 1. They want you to stick around for Season 10. And for them to get an extra $100 out of you, you're going to need to stick around for those 10 seasons to get $10 each, out of you. So how are they going to do that? Well, the game needs to be good enough at launch, and it needs to be polished and enjoyable and fun to play that people will stick around for that long. If they released Assassin's Creed Unity and then did a battle pass along the way, there would be nobody playing it, because that game died at launch. It died at launch with its bugs and its glitches, and Mark Alexei Cote even said himself that Assassin's Creed Unity was when they realised that things needed to change. That was when Assassin's Creed's development team shifted, and their mantra for how they make these games changed. And I know I'm rambling a bit, and I know that I'm not, going into detail on, some of the things that they've said, but I just wanted to get across, emotionally, how I'm feeling about this delay, and less so about the facts, because this investor call is still going on. I don't know all the details of it, but for me, like, I do believe that this delay is a good thing. I knew it was coming, and I'm happy that it's here. I really hope that on March 20th, the game is good. I mean, it needs to be good at this point, because I don't think they're going to get away with delaying it a third time. I really don't. The fact that it's only been delayed by a month, though, and not like 3 months or 6 months, you know, it's a sign that they know that eventually this thing's going to have to come out, and we are, even though the time keeps getting longer, we are getting closer and closer to the release of Assassin's Creed Shadows. And, you know, my birthday is March 24th, so for me, it's turned from a Valentine's ruiner to a birthday present, so that's kind of nice for me. I don't doubt that on the next episode of the Odyssey, which I can imagine that me and Exile are going to spend a long time talking about this delay, so if you want to hear more of our thoughts on that, then please do stick around, subscribe to the Odyssey YouTube channel. That's where we're going to be discussing all things Assassin's Creed Shadows, and especially this delay. And also, I'm looking forward to hearing your opinion, because I haven't really read the room yet. I'm not too sure if people like this delay or not, so please let me know in the comments below. If you did enjoy this video, leave a like, subscribe, because eventually Assassin's Creed Shadows will come out, and we will be making content on it. But I do appreciate, you know, everybody who's sticking around for that journey. The road to Assassin's Creed Shadows was a playlist that I made on my channel, and it's just every time I make a video about Shadows, and it still amazes me that there are 20 videos in that playlist. On one hand, it's because I never thought I'd be able to keep up with the news as quickly as it's came out, and that's provided quite a fun challenge over this year, but also I didn't think the game would have this much, you know, drama. It's been a lot more interesting than any Assassin's Creed game before it, and I'm really happy to be along for the ride. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts on this delay, and I will see you in the next video.